It's Sean. Well, today we got our work cut out for us here. We got to put that there window regulator in that door. All right. The reason I'm doing is this window rolls down to right about in the top of the wind wing thing, and you got about that much, or 2-3 inches of window sticking up, and it just, yeah, it bites. And if you get it any lower, then you got to help it up. It's just kind of, it's gone. So to get this out though of here, we got to drill out these rivets, and there's 2, 4, 6 that I see. Let me see. Yeah, there's 2 on there, 2 on there, and 2 on there, so there's 6. And what I did with the new one here, it's not new, it's used. And the reason it's used is because even used, this was $95, and new was $137. And this one works just as good as new. It's no problem with it. But what I did to prepare this thing so I wouldn't have to rivet it back in that door up there is I welded on some 1/4-20 nuts on all of them, so I can put the new one back in it without having to rivet it. Let's put some little 1/4-20, oh, what do you call them, little stove bolts, those short ones, those short stove bolts in there or something. Some screws, or some just 1/4-20 hex heads, something. So let me get to drilling this one the old one out, and we'll bring you back. Let me get some progress here. I'll bring you back. Hang on. All right, folks. Got all of them drilled out. That was real easy. Just used the old cordless drill here and drilled the heads off of them, and they fell right through. So I rolled the window down a little bit with the roller to right about 2-3 inches up like it was. Then it exposes this little nut right here with the spike sticking out, the thread sticking out. You take that loose. All right, then you got to pull your window up out of the way, or down out of the way. I prefer up, somewhere out of the way. Then you can take your old regulator out. All right, and then we'll proceed to feed the new one in and reverse the process. So hang on a sec. We're getting there. All right, folks, we got the old one out. Yep, we did. Looking at it, it's hard to tell where it's bad, but the little wire inside there, either that or it's the gear in the box, one or the other. I mean, I've lubed it up and it didn't make any difference. But anyway, we got the new one put in the door, but not bolted in yet. That, I'll tell you, if you have never done that, is this your first time like me? That kind of sucks. That's not fun at all. But we got it in there. Now we're hoping our whole bolt holes line up here. So let me get at putting a couple bolts in it, seeing where we're at. Hang on. All right, folks, we got our little roller on there. We got some bolts in there. I'm missing 2 bolts. I got to go to the hardware and get 2 little screws or bolts. But there it is. Rolls so smooth. I put plenty of oil on it, and I just used regular old motor oil in that track, that little felt wick. Yep, I filled that whole thing with motor oil, let it soak in real good. And I didn't want to use grease because in the wintertime and it'll get stiff. I used some motor oil, and I didn't want to use like WD-40 because that don't stay in there long. So I used some motor oil and it worked really well. Alright, so let me get my little nut back on here. Get my window down and let me hook it back up to the track. See if it actually works. Hang on. Alright folks, we got it. Now, unlike the old one this post was not in the way of that little nut. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, when I took the nut out of this one right here, it was exposed enough where I get that ratchet in there in this socket, and I just used a short 3/8 drive, 3/4 socket, and it worked fine. Oh, incidentally, to do this too, right inside this hole here, yours might not be so rusted, but this isn't pitted rust, this is just surface, but there's a little 10mm bolt right there. It goes into your window track. You got to get that out so that your window track can move enough to get your crank past it. Incidentally, another thing that you've got to do is right here. You can see this mess. Sun's right in my face. There's a rivet here. You don't have to drill the top one out. But there's a rivet here. You do have to drill the bottom one out. And here's what you got to do. Well, you got to get that rivet out of there anyway. But that allows you to feed your old one out and your new one in, your regulator. I didn't drill the top one out. I just drilled the bottom one. And I'm going to nut and bolt that in place. We'll just get that there. Rivet out of there. I'll do that off camera because it's going to take a little persuasion. But let's find out if it rolls up and down. Hey, it is. It is rolling up and down. Let's see if it goes all the way down. Oh, well, it would if I took my tape off. Finally, I can take that tape off. I had to have tape on it to fish it out of their window seal there. Just get all this tape off here now. I used a piece of tape to hold the window up while I was working on it inside the door. But looky there, it goes all the way into the door and all the way up to the top, just like it's supposed to. Let's see if I can get that nut to line up. Don't think we're gonna. No, it just kind of follows the track. So I don't know exactly how you're supposed to get a socket on it to tighten it up. I think I'm gonna just tighten it. It's going into that glass. So I'm going to use these needle nose vice grips and I'm going to get it tight. Either that or maybe I can get in there with an end wrench. Let me get an end wrench if I can find one real quick here. Should be able to. I got a 15 in there. I got a bunch of tools in the back of this car, so I don't have to keep going out to the shop to get junk. Of course, it's real organized. You can see that, right? Three-quarter. All right. It's real organized. Yeah, I do believe I can get that up in there. Let me do that, and we'll start piecing her back together. All right. And I got to go to the store and get 2 of those before we bolt it up. Well, actually, I got to get 2, and I got to get 3. So, I'll get 3. And I already got a nut for the back of that, so we're good. All right, let's get it pieced back together. Hang on. Oh, and I want to put a new speaker in that door, too, because the old one was kind of... Show you the old one. Kind of had it probably a year after the Jeep was made, but anyways, yeah, seen better days, guys. I'm just gonna beat the magnet off of it so that I can save the magnet. Those little magnets are come in handy for junk. All right, let me get that tightened up and get this started put back together. and we'll bring you back. Alright folks, I haven't got very far, but I decided something. Instead of using those little screwdriver slotted ones, I had some just actual bolts. And I was too short. And whoever does this again, hopefully it's not me. Hopefully. Anyway, they'll only have to have one tool for all of them. And I can get those tighter. Than I can with a screwdriver. I just put it on a little rattle gun and just bumped them. Anyway, now we can get back together. So hang on. Alright folks, we got our speaker put back. I just put the same size speaker in there. It's got a little more wattage than the original one, but I'm not one of those that really gives a crap. Just so you can listen to the radio once in a while, that's all I asked. But at least it's got a speaker in it now, right? Alright, yeah, I ordered 4 of those. There's 2 for the back, 2 for the front. And the 2 for the back weren't even in the hole when I got the Jeep. So we are going to go ahead and piece this all back together now. Now that we got that speaker in, I think we're good to wrap it up. Alright, we'll be back. Alright folks, job done. We got it. So now when I get my little player in there, my stereo setup, it's just going to be a little DVD player with a, CD, DVD, all the things there. And don't need to be big old loud, it just needs to play. And there's a new speaker in that door. I'm going to take that panel off over there, and that window works beautifully, and I'm going to put a new speaker in that one too. Alright, but now we can roll the window. Probably can't see anything. We can roll the window all the way down and all the way back up. So that's going to be a big plus. We got all the screws in the right place, so we're good. Alright. Job done. Now we got to pick up the mess. Alright, thanks for joining me, guys. Take care of yourselves. Thumbs up. Love y'all. Bye-bye.